Hello, this is Valerie, and I just want to give you a tour of my fields. They're pretty much, we'll say, raw because all of the beds I have in this year are temporary. Were considered temporary. I was just looking for a place to stick my garden. So they'll be all reconfigured. So as you see gardens, most of them, unless they're a bush or a tree, they're not going to stay that way. And I just wanted to give you like a tour of the fields and what it looks like before. You're going to see a lot of torn out beds or torn up beds, and Baker down there eating and or chewing on some plastic, and there's Onyx. He was being mouthy with me a second ago. We've taken some branches down in various places, so those will be laying around, but on this tour, I'm going to take you around the fields and show you, because we're getting ready to put in a greenhouse and a bunch of beds. This will kind of give you the raw look. We're going to end up here. We're going to start this way. We'll come down from this direction. So I'm just going to walk you through and kind of show you around the property. A lot of this stuff, like these beds where tomatoes were, there's still tomatoes growing, lettuce and stuff. This will all be ripped out and reconfigured. It will probably remain beds, but it won't look like this. This is a runoff pond that we have been slowly working on getting cleaned out. We've got another few loads to take to the dump. You can't really tell, it's overgrown, it needs weed eated. But it needs drainage because sometimes it does flood this little area. And yes, I know I've got hose and boards. We've been doing a bunch of projects and it would just be too much to go in and explain everything. So yes, I realize it's there. Hopefully it won't be there permanently. But anyways, we're going to have to put some drainage across here over the hillside. Now the thing that's kind of unique to my garden, from what I've seen about other channels, and maybe it's just the channels I'm watching, is that they have these nice, beautiful, flat pieces of land. And I just kind of want to show you. Maybe you can see. I'll try to show you a better view. We are on a hillside. I'm in zone 6A, Buchanan, West Virginia. We're here at the foothills of the mountains, but we are on a mountainside. So these are my blueberry bushes. I'm sorry, we walked just right by them. Okay, this is a burn barrel. This first field we're going to walk down to, and this will be reconfigured. So this was just to get stuff in the ground. There's still peppers down here. I'm going to maybe try to overwinter. They're being possessive over a plastic bottle. Still got corn down there, peppers. I want to try to overwinter, beans. But anyways, that's not the point of this. We're going to, in this area, we cannot grow in this whole thing because, as you can see, there's a lot of shade. And it's shadier now than it is in the summer because today is the first day of fall. So in the summertime, it gets a lot more sun. There's a field across the street. But it still does get quite a bit of shade, and we are going to cut some of the branches out of these trees and cut some of these littler ones out, and that will open the field a little bit. This structure may or may not stay. But this field, you can't even tell how big it is really. We will be reconfiguring. We'll rip all this stuff out. We'll, let's see. But as you can see, we're on a hillside. I'm trying to go down. Getting the level of the land is going to be hard. Like I said, we've got some tree branches that we took down. Those ones have been down for a minute that we need to clean up. That's an old trampoline cover that needs to be dealt with, some old plywood. But we're going to walk this way towards the barn. Now, the tomatoes back before, whenever I first moved here, the tomato bed was along this line here, and they were, You know, they grew really well there, but you can't grow them there now because of all this brush. So we need to cut out brush. We need to take a few limbs out of these trees that are dead and split. You can literally hear them creaking whenever the wind's blowing. But all along this brush line is where the tomatoes used to be. So once we do that, we're hoping to reclaim some of this field, because it stays pretty shady. Let's get a shot of the pine trees. Get a shot of the field. Okay, so we're going to continue to walk. Yes, we have a door sitting in front of the barn door. Here's a peony I've planted that grows well, but because it gets sun, what happens to it is it gets a lot of sun in the early spring before these leaves are on, so it grows nice. But by the time it's ready to bloom, it's in complete shade. So even though it's getting big and doing well and been growing for years, I've never seen it bloom. So hopefully getting some, like, I know I keep losing my thought, but it's related. Some of this tree needs to come out because it's cracked. We're hoping once that does, it opens that up at this up enough that I don't have to try to move it, because I know peonies don't like to be moved. However, let me tell you, around here they're not called peonies, they're called pionies. If you said peony to someone, or peony, they probably wouldn't know what you were talking about. Here, they're called pionies. The barn, we're just going to walk this way. Okay. This wouldn't really be used for gardening. The barn just now, it's used for storage. It really needs a makeover. But then there's this area here, and it's kind of just overgrown. It gets a lot of sun during the summer. Like, almost all day, all evening. So I kind of want to reclaim it, and I thought about maybe doing a little cottage garden there. Just an old barn, but maybe flowers, I'm not sure. But then, to continue on, we shall go, and this is what I'm saying when we are on mountainside. So I guess that's kind of what's unique to my garden, and what I kind of hope to bring is just little tips and tricks for growing on a hillside, because it's different than growing on flat land. And some people might think they can't because they don't have this nice, beautiful flat land, and you can. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get through these briars. See, this field is just overtaken. We do have a few things up here, though you wouldn't be able to tell, like some blueberry bushes. These are taller than I am. Okay. I want to try to walk up here so I can get a downward shot. Maybe you can see. I would not suggest doing this. This is really tall. All the goldenrod. Oh. Briar bushes everywhere. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. See, there's a blueberry bush. There's a clearing here. If I can get up here, maybe I can show you what I mean. It's hillside. This is an old trampoline frame. This field, sorry I am out of breath, that was hard. This field just needs reclaimed, and I'm wanting to walk the whole thing, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let's see. It is full of blackberries and black raspberries, unfortunately. I just wish I could show you, but it's so high. I don't even know. I don't even know if it's going to be comprehensible what I'm trying to show. Like mountainside gardening. My husband came and started tearing down a couple patches because we decided we were going to wait until fall when everything was starting to die back before we did anything to this field, because it's crazy. Hello. I'm getting film of the field. I'm getting film of the field. I know. Rose bushes. Alright. There's some more that he cut down. I know this probably isn't as exciting as some, but we're going to be putting our greenhouse in this area. It's going to go from downhill to uphill, this direction. And we will get into why in another video besides space. But let's see, another thicket. I'm going to walk up here. Okay, let's get another. I know you can't see all that because that sun's shining right in. Okay, I want to keep going. I'm going through so many briars right now. There's a little path worn out from where we've walked this before, but it's overgrown. This is all the stuff we're reclaiming, and we'll let some of it continue to be wild. But we're on this hillside, mountainside, whatever. And that's kind of what we want to show, is how you can garden without having perfectly flat land. I know this is probably a very shaky video because of all the hills. See, I'm starting to go down again. Oh, there's so many bees. I hope I don't get stung. I wish you could see in here how many bees there are right now. Okay. Just as an example, we're on this hillside. This is another area that we have. This is right behind our house. See, our house is down there. Well, I think that I'm going to walk to the front and kind of sign off on my video, and thank you for watching. And this is really just a documentation of the beforehand. It's not commentary on what I'm going to be doing really, or my mistakes from the season. It's literally just me documenting the land. And I do have another little garden in the front of the house, but it's probably not even going to be a garden anymore. Like I said, I was just looking for places to stuff things this year. So I just kind of wanted to give you a view of the different levels and different tiers I'm working with. Because yes, there's buckets everywhere. Not everyone has this perfectly flat or semi-flat piece of land. I mean, trying to show you. You can't really see, but this is nothing but hillside. And so there's certain tips that make that easier, and I kind of want to share those and document what I have going on, because I'm hoping to see a lot of changes over the next few years. Alright, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and hopefully you come along on my farm journey with me. Alright, now's your chance. Are you going to talk to me? Oh, you too now?